My name is A.Strongheart. Welcome back to my channel. Nice to see you guys. What is sacred? What is sacred? We lost these understandings that a child being born into this world is a sacred and precious thing. Where does the consciousness in that being come from? Comes from Creator God. And that sacred consciousness in that sacred vessel. We cannot make no child in no lab. It comes out of two human beings coming together. We have never created a child in a lab. The child comes sacred gift from God. From the male and the female coming together. And that child is born, and that child is a sacred gift from God. And it should be worshipped like that. That doesn't mean some idol that you give in to every whim when it cries, and then you give in to every whim. No, that's not what I'm talking about. But the consciousness inside of that being is precious. It's precious. Beautiful gift from God on a little tightrope into this world. And it falls one side, it can leave this world. And it falls the other side, can leave this world. And it's only thin layer of being able to exist, just like this beautiful Mother Earth, a place with oxygen and plants, just far enough from the sun to have millions of years of evolution to sustain life, that we breathe the oxygen, which is also sacred, that we breathe that oxygen in, that we drink this water, that the water exists on this planet, and we drink it. We feel the rays of the sun, and they create photosynthesis in all the plants, so the oxygen happens, and then we breathe that oxygen, and we survive. And you go underwater and you have no oxygen, you're going to die, you're going to drown. And so the water is sacred, but the breath is sacred too, and we need it to exist. Without it, we wouldn't exist. When this life exists on this narrow tightrope in the universe, in the blackness of space, in the darkness of space, the void of space, no oxygen. You go out there, you cannot breathe, you're going to die. And so right in there, right in this narrow window of the Mother Earth, we exist. Our whole humankind exists in this narrow window, this beautiful, sacred, narrow window. It's so precious. And the child is like that too, this sacred, narrow window. And the mother is like that. The mother is like that. A sacred one that's going to help. That's going to help that one. That's going to help the other one. It's going to help the child. It's going to help all the beings. It's going to help raise the children and the family. It's going to help raise them. That's the way it is. That mother is sacred and precious because she has a sacred and precious role. It's like a soldier inside of a trench. And all the platoon is dead. And one other guy survived on the other side of the trench. And they from the same outfit. And he sees that man barely crawling out of the trench, and he's pinned down. And it's your sacred duty to your brother to get him out of that trench. Get him out and fight with him to the death if it takes it. That's a sacred duty, a brotherhood. And it's a sacred duty in the same way for a mother to raise her kids in a good way, in a healthy, to devote her mind and her emotions and her intentions to doing it well, to being powerful at it. That's a sacred duty. And it's a sacred duty of a father. A father is sacred. A father is sacred. To raise his children and provide for his children. It's like that soldier in the trench. Oh, not through me. I'm going to make sure this child thrives. I'm going to make sure this child gets what it needs to develop its mind and its heart and its soul, so that it can be a powerful, in tune, well developed, on a stable base of understanding of the world, so that it can go out into the world and carry on in a beautiful and powerful way with morals and ethics and intellect and knowledge and wisdom and emotional intelligence and all the things necessary to get on in this world in a good way. And that's a sacred duty, and it's a sacred being, the Father. And it's a sacred duty, and it's a sacred being, the Mother. And it's a sacred duty and a sacred being, a child. A child is born. A beautiful child consciousness is sacred, and it's sacred duty to listen to its mom, to listen to its dad, to analyze the world, and to be all that it can be. Ooh, all that it can be. And it's a sacred duty to be a decent human being, a beautiful human being, a powerful being, human being, an empathetic human being, a conscious human being, a wise human being, a discerning human being, a human being with good boundaries, a human being with understanding, a human being that carries on the lineage of all the human beings that have come before on this beautiful tightrope of the Mother Earth, and this beautiful tightrope of life, where life can exist. This is a precious and holy and sacred thing, and we've gotten to this whole thing where a bunch of atheists told us none of it means anything. Stupid, bro. Stupid. Why? Why do they tell us none of it means anything? They tell us because it's a reaction against religion, who told us that it's sacred but then used it against us. And it's not just religion, spirituality, bro. All the tribes, all the philosophies, any kind of religion or tradition, humans have used it against each other as a power. They use the power of the father to manipulate, cajole, and dominate, not for the sake of growing the child and growing the family, but just for the sake of dominating. It's sick. And the sacredness of the mother has also been used to dominate and control for its own egoic sake. It's sick. It's a sickness. And the same is true to atheists, is sickness, and religions too. All of it. It's all been used to just dominate and control for greed and ego. But does that mean that there isn't a spiritual truth inside of it? A beautiful spiritual truth inside of it. Beautiful, precious truth inside of it. It's about the sacredness of the family, the sacredness of the mother, the sacredness of the father, the sacredness of the sexual act, the sacred act of creation of a child, the sacred gestation of it in the womb, and the sacred birth of it, and the sacred life of it. And all these things are holy and sacred and precious, and they need to be protected, and they need to be guided by our own wisdom, by our own taking on of that responsibility, that brotherhood, to save our man in the trench, to save our child in the trench, our mother and our father, to make the family a beautiful and sacred and special thing again, to make it sacred again, to make life sacred again, to make the family sacred again, to make the father sacred again, to make the mother sacred again, to make the child sacred again, to make the life sacred again on this beautiful, holy Mother Earth in the middle of this beautiful cosmos where we exist. And all the generations have come before us, and all the generations after us will come. And so this thing is sacred. Don't throw it away. Don't leave it in the dust. Don't leave it behind for some superfluous nonsense in this world, trying to manipulate you and dominate you, keep you out of your own true power, which is inside of your sacred, beautiful heart, the connection between you and the Creator God, between you and God eternal. You come out of somewhere, and that somewhere is God. That beautiful, powerful force. We don't even know where consciousness arises in the being and how it arises. We don't. We don't understand it because it's God. God is is where the consciousness comes from. This whole life, this whole vessel, this whole being is sacred. Tune into that. Hold on to that. Follow the faith with that. Not with some outside push of rhetoric and some rigid or flimsy, stale doctrine. Not some stale doctrine. This is not stale doctrine. You are a live, breathing human being, breathing the breath of life. Oxygen, drinking the holy water of this beautiful Mother Earth. Walking on this beautiful Mother Earth. Living this life. And that connection with God is inside of you. This is a precious thing that needs protection and love and care and nurturing. And this is the sacred path of the family to nurture life into existence. It's the sacred path of the father and the sacred path of the mother and the sacred path of the child to become all that we're meant to be, to become the precious beings that we're destined to be, to become wise, intelligent, strong, nurturing, knowledgeable, loving, ferocious, beautiful beings of this earth, passing on to the generations after us the wisdom and the knowledge. The family is sacred. We are sacred. This life is sacred. It's a blessing. We're blessed. We're blessed to be here, to be alive, to breathe the sweet oxygen, to drink the sweet water, to love inside of our hearts for God, eternal being, and to be the best version of ourselves that we can possibly be. My name is Anthony Strongheart. Chee! We are sacred beings on this beautiful holy planet. God bless you all, and we'll see you in the next one.